I have with me today Jason Brennan, who is the Regional Sales Manager for RUPES. And we're going to take a look at these three kits, what's inside them. We're going to take a deep dive, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And we'll share with you everything you need to know so you get the right kit for what you want to detail. Jason, where do you start?
Yeah, so this is the new DA system. It's actually been out for a few months, but as the pandemic, right? So we haven't been able to be out there at SEMA, Mobile Tech, so a lot of people
Everything got shut down.
Everybody's looking for the new stuff, but can't
You guys launched this at the same time. So it wasn't fair, was it?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of work went into it, and we all looked forward to SEMA, but that did not take place, and same thing with Mobile Tech. So we haven't been able to be out and show these, do on-hand demos. So I figured it'd be good to stop by and talk about these a little bit. They are hitting the market, and there's some buzz, social media, so we figured we'd talk about these today.
Well, RUPES makes great stuff. I mean, I talk a lot about abrasive technology. RUPES has nailed it. Your compounds and polishes, your Ultrafine saved me on the original paint on a 1950 Pontiac. Only thing that worked. And your pads are the best. I'm always sharing your pads. So let's go through that. You got three kits here. And let's start over here with the most aggressive, and let's just work our way to the Ultrafine.
Sure. And Mike, you know a lot about us as far as a system with the Bigfoot. You have a book written on it. This is basically an evolution of those systems. Yep. So as the pads and the foams have changed, we've changed along with that. On the coarse or the more aggressive end of the scale, the system is blue. So you will see DA coarse is the compound, and along with that, two pads. Not just one, but two.
In the kit?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. And the system as a whole as well.
And we're specifically talking about DA polishers, dual action polishers.
Yes.
Because you have a separate system for rotaries.
Correct. Okay. So you will see that on the bottles. And again, in the rotary, we do have a system that's color coded as well. And some of the colors are the same, but the compound is different. I'm not a chemist by trade, but there is a lot of difference in the carriers and the aggregate based on the motion of rotary versus DA. So yes, if you get a DA polisher, go with the DA system.
And one thing I've always loved about RUPES is they label their products so even a newbie, a beginner, can look at this and go, okay, now I know what it is and I know what it does. Right there, DA coarse, There's no guessing. So many products out there have fluffy marketing names and they don't tell you what tool it's for. It's right there. I mean, they took the most simplest basic thing that everybody else overlooks and incorporated it into the label.
Absolutely. And these are trial kits. These are available in different sizes of compounds and polishes as well as the size of the pads. That'll be specific to whether you have a 15 or a 21. So take note of that. Mm-hmm. If you do look to purchase some of the kits, we do have them for both sizes.
You just want to make sure you order the right kit for your polisher because the backing plate's what makes or breaks the pad size.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So now within these kits, in the yellow and the blue, there will be a wool pad as well as a foam pad. So
I like that packaging, very upscale.
Yeah, now it is fancy looking, I think,
yeah,
but
the metallic is beautiful.
Yeah, but there's a couple reasons to go beyond that. So to protect it from sunlight. So you got these laying around the garage, what have you, sun will deteriorate foam. Mm-hmm. So, and they're also airtight to prevent mold and so forth. So a little bit more than just the fancy packaging itself.
One way you can tell that foam thing, if you've ever seen a white foam pad new, it's bright white, and as it ages, it turns yellow. Because for some reason, and I'm not a chemist either, there's no way to put any kind of UV inhibitors into the white foams. That's why they all turn yellow.
Yep, correct.
So sun does have an effect.
Yeah, and the other ones will too. You're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
Right, right. So foam, this will be the least aggressive of the two, but keep in mind we are on the aggressive end of the scale here. So, Mike, you're big on test spots.
Yes.
If we know we have something real aggressive,
yeah.
And we have some heavy defects, but we still want to err on the least side of the aggressive scale.
Yeah, side of caution.
So I would start with the blue foam and see if this gets what you got out. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't, then you would go to the wool. I like working with wool because they tend to run cooler.
Yes.
That's just a personal preference for me. I like to keep the heat down for many reasons. The life of the pad, shrinkage of clear coat on paint and what have you. But as we move into the yellow, this is going to be the middle of the line. It's DA fine. It's actually a fine to medium. So this is kind of your middle of the road. If you're going to do a one-step correction, this is typically where I would start. Production detailing, minor car wash swirls removal, that type of thing. And at the same time, not only do we have just one, a lot of pad lines simply, when you get into the finer stuff, is just foam.
Yeah.
Uniquely, we have a pad specific in the medium range that is also a wool. You can feel how soft that is.
Oh, I've used these. It's really soft, and but it gives you more cut than the foam. So you have multiple choices, but inside this kit, you'll have at least 2 choices that should get you closer where you want to be.
Correct.
Depending on the paint hardness or things like the depth of the defects you're trying to remove, or even your own expectations. Some people aren't always looking for flawlessness. They just want to get it good.
Right, right. And that's why, to me, again, it's a good one step. And for some of you that are new in polishing, there's a lot of fear around wool, right? It's going to burn an edge, or it's going to tear up the paint, or leave a lot of swirls. That is not the case with these products here. As we go to the Ultrafine, this is a last step polishing for ultimate gloss and clarity. And as you look at this, it's white. It's not black. It's different than the other 2 here, okay?
Yeah.
Uno stands for one in a
Yes.
couple different languages.
Yeah.
So why does it say one? Well, because it can be used on rotary or DA. So this is the one unique product because of the size of the aggregate and so forth that's in that compound. It works well with both rotary and DA. That's the one exception to the system here. So
And when you say aggregate, you're talking about the abrasive
the
technology.
abrasives,
Okay.
yep.
Just to make sure everybody knows what that means.
Yeah, that might be a little technical there. But this is for ultimate clarity. If I were doing production detailing, I don't know if I would necessarily always go to that step.
Sure.
If you're working on a Ferrari or something like that, or a very high level resto mod or something like that, I would go to that.
Finish out with it after one of these.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
but that's also because these work so good.
Yep.
You know, RUPES, one of the things that's unique about them is they actually designed all their systems to be one and done. If it looks good after this, there is no reason to follow up unless you want to because you're doing show car work. But the original intent was a one-step system, whatever the process was.
Right, correct. And this would be a foam pad. That would be, now there is rotary specific foam and DA specific foam, but they are both white, so you know when you go to grab that product, grab the white pad that correlates with it. Now, one thing that we don't have out here when you talk about Uno Pure. So it's called Pure because there's nothing else in it. There's no added fillers, nothing else goes in that. That is just a pure final polish, pure virgin. There's no other added stuff in that. We do also have Uno Protect, which comes in a bottle, very similar looking as that. It will say Protect on the bottle. That has additive protectives, protectant products, sealants. It's kind of an all-in-one. So take note of that when if you grab one of these, you're in the store and grab it. Pure is just simply the polish. Uno Protect is pure with added protectants in it.
Kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And I've used them both. They work great.
Yeah. So these are new systems, been heavily refined, much easier to work with than the previous compounds and polishes. They stay wet. They do have a long working time. However, you know, Jason Rose is behind a lot of the testing and engineering and changes in these systems. It's designed for short cycling. So it is really good for 2 to 3 passes and done. But it is also engineered to give you the additional working time because a lot of people look at that and they want to go longer. Sometimes you can overwork the product or the paint. But designed for short cycle in mind for efficiency, but they do have the ability in the wetting agents and so forth to be able to run longer on the surface.
And that's without dusting too.
Correct.
Yeah, and easy
Correct.
wipe off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do these also include a towel? Isn't that something you want to bring
Yes,
out?
so these are the trial kits to introduce you guys to the product. So one of each in here, and what you get is you will get the actual product. You will get the 2 pads, both the foam and the wool, and a matching microfiber. The only exception is going to be the Uno Pure because there is not a wool pad for that. That is a final finishing, very soft white foam pad.
Gotcha.
But also as a bonus, all 3 of those kits come with our very popular pad claw tool for cleaning and also for removing the pad off of the backing plate. So that is the
Nice
trial
touch.
kits to introduce you to our new product line.
And the good news is we carry all 3 of these at
Yes.
Autogeek. The key thing, like you said at the beginning of this video though, is to make sure when you look at this, you're getting the kit that fits your tool. So like the BigFoot 21 and the BigFoot 15 both have different size backing plates.
Correct.
And the Melee, you can choose which size backing plate that you use.
Yes.
So you just want to make sure you get the right kit. And if you have any questions, you can always get customer care to help you.
Yep, the BigFoot 15 would be a 5-inch backing plate, and then 6-inch for if you've got an LHR 21
Gotcha.
long throw. Yep.
Well, Jason, we've already been using this stuff here at Autogeek, and it's, everything RUPES puts out, before you guys put it out, you make sure it works, so it performs as advertised. And one of the things I like to tell people, when someone's new to machine polishing, if you're going to get into the RUPES tools, you really need to go all in. Get the chemicals and the pads, because it's really designed to be a system. And then down the road, if you want to play with something else that you like, do it. But get the system to start with. Become an expert with the system before you try to branch out. Yep. And you'll find out that it works on anything: hard paint, soft paint, paint in between, sticky paint.
Well, that's where the added versatility of the dual pads within the system. So again, you can go grab another compound, another polish, but you're adding a variable into the system. Mm-hmm. So these are engineered with those options right out the box.
I know, but you and me both know that sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
It's absolutely true. But then you can buy 50 different compounds, but if you introduce a new variable every time, you're gonna have a cabinet full of stuff that you may or may not use.
You never use,
Here you can adjust technique, speed, pressure, passes, and we'll get into that in another video. But
sure.
This is a very good system to get involved in and have that versatility right out the box.
Yeah, and because everything comes in the box that you're going to need, when you go out in the garage, you're going to have it all. So for more information or to get any of these products, go to autogeek.com. For more videos like these and how-tos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just for fun, why don't you just leave all this here for me?
I will leave some for you, Mike. Absolutely. Absolutely.